TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Filipina P. She did a really great video of clapping back at some of these modern women, and her video was actually pretty funny. So let's cover that today. Please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time. Shout outs to Filipina P, by the way.
Hi folks, TheFilipina P here. And several months ago, I did a video about the way some Western women were attacking and insulting men who realized the relationship game in their home countries had become totally unwinnable,
Correct.
causing them to look for partners in other lands. This group of men, known as the passport bros, have recently become the talk of the town, whether it's to degrade them or to sympathize with their mission. In my video, I wasn't nasty to the women at all.
She wasn't.
And I used humor to poke holes in their objections. But the reaction was swift and brutal, and it looks like I might have had a hand in accidentally starting an international war between Western women and us Asian women.
It's okay.
For several months now, the accusations and insults have been flying fast and furious back and forth across the Pacific.
It's funny because the men are the ones that always start the wars, right?
With other Filipinas getting into the action in social media. The topic has become so hot, in fact, that just last week, I was asked for an interview by one of the largest TV networks in the Philippines. But so far, I've remained silent until now. It's one thing to attack your own men, the ones who've chosen to leave. Of course you have the right to your opinions, just as I have the right to respond with my own. But
She's
when you go
right.
insulting us Filipinas, then your accusations warrant a response. And here's my response. Let's dive right in. First, let's deal with your claim that we Filipinas are somehow lacking in language skills.
Colombia,
Yes.
the Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English.
I just have one question. When was the last time you went to the Philippines? Or have you been to the Philippines?
They've
have
never
you
been.
also spoken to actual people from the Philippines in terms of speaking the English language? You gotta really check on what is current. I don't know where you're getting your statistics.
And you say we're not very good with reading, writing, and arithmetic neither.
Women that
Damn,
don't
she
have
did the
education.
southern accent pretty good.
Excuse me? For your information, we have stricter education and school system than in the United States. So actually, Filipinos
She's right. Asian countries, not just the Philippines, are so much more strict on their math and reading and arithmetic. When my Thai friend came here in high school, what we were learning in high school, he learned in elementary school. That's how far behind the education system is in the U.S. compared to theirs.
are multilingual. English is our second language, and we speak 150 dialects in my country. We have English subject from nursery till college. That's always part of our curriculum. It's not foreign women's fault if American men fall for them instead of you.
Ooh.
You must understand, like us Filipino, we are naturally sweet. We are naturally like that, okay? And that's what they like about us, because we are just sweet, understanding, caring. It's not because we are submissive. We're not submissive. You ask my husband that, he will tell you I'm not submissive.
So when you say those things about us Filipinas, how do you think that makes us feel?
Don't tell us that we are uneducated. I've been able to take care of my family. I became a breadwinner at the same time, a homemaker. But I am as educated as you are. I graduated
They are.
cum laude, and I am a teacher. And so it hurt me a lot when you're saying that people in Asia are uneducated, they are submissive. In fact, I am as empowered as you are.
You tell them, sister. And now we get to the videos that managed to attack the passport bros while insulting us Filipinas too.
When you go find a wife in the Philippines or Thailand or Eastern Europe or wherever these places are that are overseas, I'm assuming you mean they're more biddable, that they're less outspoken, they don't demand anything of you, that they're just happy to be rescued from their poverty-stricken life of no opportunity, and in return, all they have to do is subject themselves to your advances. I do wonder at your motivation for why you want to go overseas to find a partner. Is it because you prefer your woman without opinions, unable to fight back and vulnerable?
Yeah, you got me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those overseas women who doesn't have an opinion in my little head. And I'll put up with your advances if only you'll rescue me from my life of poverty.
Emotional
I want
damage.
some more.
These passport predators are the bottom of the barrel. And the reason they're going overseas to get women is because we don't want them. And they know if they go overseas, they're more likely to find a woman who will do whatever it takes to secure a better life for her family. Trust me, we don't want them. And we appreciate you guys taking out the trash for us.
You're
Ouch.
welcome, lady, no problem. But what is the problem is that you're implying that we sell ourselves to do whatever it takes to be with a man that disgusts us. Are you calling us what I think you're calling us?
Passport pros are people who specifically go from country to country to country trying to find women, exotic flavors, to dabble in.
Notice how all the women are on the broader side of the scale that have been complaining. You know, chubbier cheeks, a little bit on the older side. Just what I've noticed from this video. Even with the filter for this chick, she don't look that great. Just an observation.
Right? Passport bros are like, oh man, I can't find any good women in the States, so I'm gonna have to go somewhere else in the world. Like women are inherently different in every other country. It
Yeah,
really starts
they
becoming
are.
weird when you go to third world countries or countries that are not as advanced as ours. And a lot of these women are
Advanced as
desperate,
ours.
so they're going to take you up on that offer, right? They want someone who is going to be submissive to them. And what better
It's seriously, these women have never traveled in their goddamn lives. Yes, people in other countries are different than people in the United States. Shocker.
way to find someone who's submissive to them than to find a woman who is at your beck and call because, you know, the only reason she's in the United States is because of you. Sounds to me like a lot of control issue, right? And to be honest, ladies, these aren't the type of men that we want anyway.
Let's not
right?
complaining.
These men want a woman that they can control. And because they can't find it.
We just want someone that's cooperative. That's all it is.
Here in America because it's frowned upon to like own a human. Here they go to other places in the world where they can legally own a human.
Well, I thought I'd heard it all, but I just found out that the Philippines has legalized
$9.99,
slavery.
guys.
I wonder how much I could get if I put on a little makeup. And once again, Filipinas are depicted as desperate, submissive, and at a man's beck and call. Do you have any clue how insulting that is? But at least you consider us adults, unlike these next women.
Clearly underage girls. Do y'all realize when y'all make comments on videos like how women are just jealous?
Yeah.
When we're talking about minors, meaning children, that y'all are basically telling the world what you've done or want to do. Mostly, I'm pretty sure a lot of you did. This is why I tell everybody, a man will do what he do to your 13-year-old or a 13-year-old if he know he can get away with it. Why would you think a woman would be jealous of a child?
This rhetoric is probably one of the worst rhetoric that they have against us. Saying that we're pedos, that we go out and like go for 13-year-olds and things like that. Lady, shit's illegal in other countries too. You do know that, right? It's globally pretty illegal. Especially in the Philippines. They will destroy you for doing shit like that. So you have no clue what the fuck you're talking about.
You stupid, nasty fool.
So now a passport bro is somehow a pedophile who's just looking to do what he do with a 13-year-old.
Correct.
Well, I don't know why you think we're underage, but we can't exactly help the fact that we look a lot younger than you think we should. And apparently, you're not alone.
This whole passport bros movement is evidence to me that in the end, the trash usually takes itself out. Like the creepiest, strangest, and most annoying of men are deciding to leave the country and pursue children in developing countries instead of bothering us. And I'm not mad at it, but I think it's funny that they think we're mad about it.
Did she just say she's okay with pedophilers? Is that what she said? She seriously said that, didn't she?
Go ahead, get your passport and leave too, because clearly nobody in America wants you.
Okay, it's bad enough that you call the passport bros creepy, annoying, and strange. But the fact that you aren't even bothered if they pursue children
But she
says a
did
lot
say
about
that.
your priorities. And thanks for implying that men can just come over here and hang around with children. You may not know this, but the Philippines takes that kind of thing very seriously. If a man is even seen with an underage child, he's immediately reported and investigated. Oh, wait a sec.
This is how men live. It's not just the Philippines. It's like fucking every country. When you see an older man and just a younger girl, especially in like teenage years, that shit gets reported all the time.
I forgot. We're too uneducated and submissive to say anything
You're right.
about
I forgot. You guys are
Carry
uneducated. My bad.
Passport bros are real and saying they're going to other countries to find more submissive women. No. Which means they are strategically picking countries that are stereotyped for having very relaxed, if any, rules around these two things. So they're going to other countries.
They literally think every other country is just letting people slap their wives left and right or something. What the fuck? You guys have no clue what the fuck is going on.
Not to find submissive wives, but to find women and girls that they, nah.
Sure, lady, there are no laws about domestic violence here. Our husbands can beat us all they want. And we're so submissive and desperate that all we can say is, please, sir, I want some more. So the implication is that men come here for the purpose of targeting women and girls. There's that pedo thing again. Just so they can physically abuse us. Do you have any evidence of that? Or does it just feel so good to say it?
Oh, it feels
But what about the claim that it's all
like it's
about
right.
money?
I literally have all the money in the world but cannot find a man. I've been in that struggle. And I've thought to myself,
Because you like a 3 and nobody gives a fuck about your money and education, and you probably have a fucking attitude because you make a lot of money.
should I go to another country to find a man? Should I go to a different place? Is it just New York City? Should I go to a different part of the country? Like, where can I find this man for me? What is very different about me, though, and in my situation that distinguishes me from a passport bro, is that A, I have a lot of money. So I'm not going to Thailand to prey on young boys who have no money. I'm not saying, oh, let me go to some developing country, somebody who's not privileged, and prey upon their young boys. Like, I'm not doing that. When I thought about traveling to different places, I thought about going to luxury spots.
You know why? Because you're hypergamous, bitch. You're not going to date down. You're not going to want a man that's below you. This is the problem that women have. And this is why they see men as predators or whatever it is. Because men are willing to date down in society. And we have always dated down in society. Women are the ones that are not willing to do it. So that's why they see it as a taking advantage thing when they're just not willing to do what men do. Take care of the family.
Like going to nice places and meeting people at a similar
So I was right about your attitude.
Similar situation. People that are doing well.
You think you're better than
people that
everybody because you have money.
Understand what it's like to date a woman with means. I think that is why there's such a disdain, and certainly I feel this, a disdain towards passport bros, is because they're not playing on an even playing field. They're not saying, oh, let me go to San Diego and go to like the nicest, country clubs and let me go and meet somebody.
Why? So we can meet the same chicks that we've been meeting that are worse off and more of gold diggers? You're so stupid. You have no idea how society works. The places that you are going to, there's plenty of young women that are going to be there to compete against you and destroy you because they're so much better looking at younger ages than you. No one gives a fuck about you got money and you can go to luxury spots. Congratulations.
No. These people are saying, wow, people here don't respect me because I'm literally not doing well. And I have to go to a country where people are living on less than $10 a day. And that's where I'm going to find my spouse. That is the part I have a problem with, because then it becomes very predatory, very creepy, and just kind of inappropriate. But again, when you throw in the financial inequity and the patriarchal system of preying on...
It's funny how many bums that are women that are bums that want rich men. How many of those are out there in the United States? Like every single one of them. So that what you just said, the economic disparity or the disparity is huge either way.
Under both youth as well as this gender disparity and the privilege that comes with that, I am not with it. I'm not with it.
Okay, lady, it's great that you have more money than God and your biggest struggle is choosing which high-end resort to meet a man at. But stop for just a second and listen to what else you just said. Women in your country don't respect men that aren't doing well. So what's a man supposed to do when he's not dripping $100 bills from every orifice in his body?
I don't drip
for you
$100
that you can
bills
go
like that.
hobnob with the rich and famous. But you do know not everyone's as fortunate as you, right?
Hey.
You say that people should find someone on their own economic level. But if a man who's not doing well isn't wanted there, what's he supposed to do? Just give up because Western women aren't interested in the contents of his wallet? Or maybe they can find a place where women won't reject them for their lack of resources, like the Philippines. What's wrong with that? It's amazing that when you find your level, it's just fine. But when a man does the same thing, it's creepy, predatory, and inappropriate. And of course, it somehow involves the dreaded patriarchy. But even when all your arguments have been thoroughly destroyed, you've still got your favorite go-to tactic: anger.
You go away. Go find your women wherever you want. If you're not satisfied, I don't know what to tell you. If you want a woman who barely even speaks English and just has to suck your dick, go for it.
Triggered immediately. Well, F you then. Just go overseas. We don't need you. Whatever. Bye, loser. You see the anger? Do you see that?
Yeah, I saw it, Bo. I saw it. But there's also some good news for the passport bros. Some Western women actually get it, like this classy lady.
Why are you mad because men are choosing to go out of the country, passport bros, and use their passports to get women that are feminine, fit, beautiful, inspiring, kind, cooperative, and submissive, women that have traditional values? Why are you mad about that? Here's the thing, the passport movement, passport bros, this is not a new concept.
It is not.
Men in the military, guess what? Many of them have wives that they met outside the country. Okay, so this is not a new concept. And you know what else? My son-in-law is actually half Filipino. That's right. His mom's from the Philippines and his daddy is Black. It's not a new concept, y'all.
And for the final clip of the day, let's hear from a little fireball named Didi to give us the big picture.
Well, I'm just curious as to why so many modern women are confused as to why men are leaving. Why we have the passport bros and men who are deciding to look for women elsewhere. And some of them seem so oblivious to the point where they really don't get it. Men are looking for traditional women. And most men have always wanted traditional women. But because modern women were taught to go to school, get their education. They were never taught to prioritize marriage, a man, or relationships. They were taught to go to school, get an education, take care of yourself because you don't need a man. Live your life, have your fun in your 20s. Fast forward, here we are. We have a world full of modern women who are independent entrepreneurs, boss chicks. They don't need no man, right? But for a lot of these women, this entrepreneur, boss chick, independent woman lifestyle is not working out the way they planned. Because when you choose that, that means you may not ever have that family structure, that home, that two-parent home. The majority of these women become single mothers because during that, have your fun in your 20s stage, and then when they hit their 30s and 40s, they were not prepared for that because nobody told you what hitting the wall looks like.
Nope.
You were never taught how to be in a relationship. You
Nope.
were never taught how to treat a man, how to love a man. Also, going forward, we really need to stop trying to shame men into.
I mean, how many stories we hear on TikTok? It's like, oh, he treated me so well. I didn't know what to do. I'm not used to this. So I just had to like break up with him because I wasn't used to it and I didn't know what to do. Plenty of women literally do not know what a healthy relationship feels like because they can't handle it.
Accepting something that they just don't want. And women have to accept the fact that, hey, we've been taught wrong. We've been sold a certain set of rules, and a lot of women ran with it. And now it's the very thing that's holding them back from getting or achieving the things that they say they want.
Yep, that about sums it up. And if you'll humor me, I have a couple final comments of my own. It's highly insulting when people claim that we Filipinas are uneducated, don't speak well, are desperate, and just a slave to a Western man's money. Is it true that we see passport bros as an upgrade to our situation? Of course we do.
Yeah.
But so what?
Correct. What's wrong
Isn't
with
that
it?
the same thing you look for in a man? To find
Exactly.
someone that makes more money than you do?
Perfect.
So why are you bashing us for doing the same thing? Seems a little hypocritical to me.
Right.
But does it mean we're only looking for money with no love involved? Well, let me ask you the same question. When a Western woman rejects a man who doesn't earn enough, and you do it all the time, does that mean that all you wanted was his money?
Ooh.
And the thing you really don't seem to get is that the men who come here aren't choosing underage girls or
Nope.
women from the slums that literally are desperate.
They're actually
mostly
marrying,
pairing
like,
up with
30-year-olds.
average Filipinas. The beaten down, miserable woman who sold her soul just to get a meal. That pathetic Filipina you seem to have stuck in your heads. She's the exception, not the rule. Well, thanks for joining me. And I'll be back on Friday with an interview you won't want to miss. Till then, folks.
That was an awesome chow. Sorry about Tom. He got into the room and started wanting to rub all over the place, and I didn't want to cancel the the filming. But I mean, everything she covered is right. Just the way, like, she went through every single method that these women are shaming passport bros. One was shaming the women directly in the foreign countries, then shaming the men and shaming the women in the countries, then calling the men pedophiles and the women prostitutes, pretty much. You know, like, oh my God, women, just see what is going on and correct your course. Please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. It's chow time.